It's really funny, bro, because when I think back to when I was young, a lot of my enjoyment and happiness really came from me just hanging out alone. And it's funny because I had multiple groups of friends. And don't get me wrong, I've had my homies where it's like they know that they will always be like my favorite friend. I got a few of them. They know who they are. But when I really go back into my past, it's like I really got most of my enjoyment being alone and just hanging out with my grandma. Like my grandma would take me wherever I wanted to. Like I'm the type of dude like I've always loved Pac Man and Miss Pac Man and just 80s retros games. I've always loved 80s retro games. So it's like when I was about 13, 14, my grandma used to take me pretty much anywhere I wanted. Toys R Us, the mall. I'd just run around the mall. She would just sleep in the car and just wait. KB Toys. And I remember there was this like little old Western city downtown where I lived. It was like a little Western city thing. Um, and it was like this little store. And it was a really cool store. There's a whole bunch of knickknacks in it. But there was like a Miss Pac Man machine. And literally, when I was like 13, 14, I would ask her to take me there. And she would literally take me there. She'd give me like $3. She would sit outside and I would play Miss Pac Man for like 2 hours, bro. I'll just keep putting the coins in and just play it. And I was like genuinely super into it. It's hella funny. Like, I was like obsessed with it, bro. I don't know what it was. I still play Pac Man to this day, but like back then I was like super obsessed with it. It's weird. It's like this like thing when you're a kid where you enjoy stuff 10 times more. I don't know why, but it was like that was like one of my favorite things. And then I also remember like when I had like 30, 40 bucks, like my grandma gave me like 30 bucks. Me and my mom went into Toys R Us, and then I got Pokemon Leaf Green. That was fire. Um, and I just rebought a new Leaf Green recently, but that game was super expensive. It was like 130. Back then when I bought Leaf Green, it was like 30. Back when I was like 12, 13. And I remember another time where she took me to Barnes and Noble. This is when I was like 15, 16. I remember she sat outside. I went into the store and I read like basically like the whole Frieza saga of Dragon Ball Z. I sat in there for like 2 hours, read all the mangas. Nobody bothered me. Cause it's like they knew I was a teenager. It's like when you were young, you could do stuff and people weren't really tripping about what you're doing. Like they wouldn't be looking at you like, what is this grown 30-year-old man doing sitting over here reading mangas? Like when you're young, like nobody cares because they like know you're a kid. So I would just be sitting there, and this is back when like Barnes and Nobles had like a little bench and you could like sit down. Because I remember sitting down and reading it. And then I remember reading Astro Boy too, just a little bit of Astro Boy because I love Astro Boy and I love Mega Man. But it's just little moments like that I like miss as a kid, bro. Like that used to be the vibes, bro. I was like always in a good mood when I was chilling alone. And then like I said, I had a couple of friends that were hella cool. My Mexican homie, he already knows who he is. And then my black homie that I used to hang out with when I was a senior. Mexican homie I used to hang out with when I was a junior. You know what I'm saying? Or no, sophomore. But yeah, bro. But besides those couple of homies I had, and then another one I had, my white homie. Um, he knows who he is. I used to hang out with him when I was a sophomore too. Um, but other than them, bro, it was like, man, I always was hanging out alone and having the best time. And it's funny too, because when I was real young, I used to live in these apartments from 9 to like 13, and it was like my friends were like weird acting towards me. Like sometimes they would be like douchey, because I really don't like hanging out with other dudes a lot. Because when you hang out with dudes, it's like they always trying to test your gangster and trying to be above you and start random drama with you, and they want to see if you're tough or not. It just gets tiring when dudes be doing that. It's like, bro, I don't want to deal with that. So when I was a kid, when my friends would be douchey, I would just go and see like other kids, like new kids who would move in, and I'll just hang out with them, bro. like literally, I always had a homie to hang out with because I would do that shit. I would just be like, yeah, my friends are being dickheads, and it was like a thing I kind of just did, like without even noticing really that I was doing it. I just automatically would do it. It's like weird. It was like I don't even know how to explain it, but it was like my brain already knew, like, okay, they being assholes today. I'm gonna go hang out with like one of the new white boys that live in my apartment complex or whatever. Like I remember there was one of them. He was a cool dude. He was just like this little white dude. I think he was like a year younger than me. I was like 13. He was like 12 or 11. And I remember he only lived there for literally like a month, and then his parents like moved, and they all moved, I think, into a house because I think they were only living there until their house was done or something like that. And he was just like a little white dude. He had like hella Yu-Gi-Oh cards. He had Exodia, and literally he had like in his room he had like a bunk bed and shit. And we were just like vibing, chilling, and he was just showing me his Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It was hella chill, bro. And his mom was hella nice. Like she didn't trip or nothing. She's like, you guys can hang out, whatever, whatever. Because even though I was like a black dude, you know, sometimes they're kind of cautious when it's like a black boy. But I wasn't like the type who would like start drama or no weird shit. Like I literally would just hang out with the kid. I'd be like, "What card you got?" I'll look at the cards, and then when I left, you didn't have to worry about if somebody stole them or not. You know what I'm saying? I was just like a cool. I used to just be chilling. You know what I'm saying? So I remember hanging out with him like once or twice, and then like after that, literally they moved and I never seen them again. It was always funny when you lived in apartment complexes. That was something that would always happen. Is literally like the kids would probably live there for like a month or 2 weeks or something, and they would just be gone out of nowhere, like a ghost, like they never existed, bro. Like apartment complexes is crazy, bro. Y'all let me know if y'all want more stories like that, because I can tell apartment complex stories all day long, bro. I promise you, and they'll be enjoyable. Cause I mean, I was like the Sandlot, you know what I'm saying? Just vibing, you know. But I don't know. I'm just talking. I'm just yapping, bro. Y'all let me know y'all favorite anime on this list that I got right here.